If you enjoy watching Common Ground online, please consider making a tax-deductible donation at lptv.org. Lakeland Public Television presents Common Ground, brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
This is the fifth year consecutively that the mayor of Pequot Lakes and the good people here have asked us to be here for one of their free concerts in the summer music in the park. Beautiful, nice little park. So we're here at their request. We're glad to be here, and it's our 5th anniversary. I'm 69 and a half plus, and when I was 5, I was on a 50,000 watt radio station with my folks in Knoxville, Tennessee. Mom and Dad did the gospel portion. Back then they called it country or hillbilly music. Now it's countrypolitan. So I was born into that. My folks did church work a lot. They always did the gospel portion. And we were on Archie Campbell's radio show when I was 5, but I started appearing publicly when I was 7. So I got 62 years this year. Hey, baby, your love, your sweet love, it's got a hold on me. Yeah, yes, I do. Honey, your love, sweet, sweet love, it's got a hold on me. Oh, Gary Timbs, love me quick, love me long, love me now, honey, love me strong. Your sweet love has got a hold on me. Oh, yes, sirree. From the early morning till late, late at night, keep loving me like you love me, baby. You know you love me right. You can love me while I'm young, you love me till I'm old. When you love me, baby, I want to give you all of my gold. Honey, your love, your sweet love, it's got a hold on me, yes sirree. Mama, your love, your sweet love, it's got a hold on me, yes sirree. Love me quick, love me long, love me now, honey, love me strong. Baby, your love, your sweet love, it's got a hold on me, yeah. Sweet, sweet love, you got a hold on me. Lord have mercy. Love me quick, love me long, love me now, baby, love me strong. Your love, your sweet love, you got a hold on me. Yes, sir. Oh, your love, your sweet love. And I'm kind of sort of back where I started. I started locally. I wound up being with some international names. I had some friends that sang with Elvis Presley. And when I was a kid in my 20s, I went with a group called the Sensational Statesmen with Brother Hovey Lister out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'd been with them, maybe a month or less when they went out one night and had supper with Elvis Presley when they're out on the West Coast doing some network television personal appearances. So I met Mr. Presley that way. We sang, he wanted to sing gospel music. He sang it all night long till he got hoarse. And he treated me very nicely. I think maybe I reminded him a little bit of him. I didn't try to be anything I wasn't. But I was well aware of the history. They used to let him in when he lived in, honestly, when he lived in the projects there in the courts in Memphis, Tennessee. Life had gotten better for him, better than it had been in Tupelo, Mississippi. So he wouldn't always have the price for ticket, and they didn't see him for a while. He was about 15 years old. I said, "Where you been, kid?" He said, "Well, things a little tight, don't always have to." So from then on, they let him in the shows. He got the hot dogs and all this stuff. It wasn't long, starting in '56, when Elvis used to walk out on stage and sing with them. And then when I was with them, I remember, for instance, the Omni, the huge Omni auditorium there, Civic Auditorium in Atlanta, Georgia. He was appearing there, and he introduced us. He let the Statesman in his shows. So he didn't forget where he'd come from. He didn't forget his friends. He was very nice to me. I did not play for him as an employee, but we did make music together and sing together as acquaintances. He treated me kind of like a kid brother. We were 10 years and 2 days apart. And I always was respectful and just myself. Had no agenda. And he would call me out and want to talk. One night we talked for hours about family, Vietnam War, whatever. I have great memories. We sat around his supper table, for instance. I still remember the Southern country meal. His little girl, Lisa Marie, she was 6 or so at the time, first time. And she sat beside her dad on his knee. He had prayer before he ate. But the last thing he said to me, put his hand up on my shoulder, he said, "Junior, I'll be praying for you." He was always a very nice gentleman to me. And being human, he had problems like we all do. He had a big heart. And I regret that I did not go and sing with him just to be there if he wanted to hang out or whatever. This one I wrote years ago got me nominated, helped get me nominated for a Dove Award, and on a record that was nominated for a Grammy Award with a gospel group called the Statesman Quartet. They introduced me to Elvis Presley and a lot of other things from that. So I hope you enjoy this. This song lost out as Gospel Song of the Year that year to "Why Me, Lord" by Chris Christopherson. I'll take second place to Chris Christopherson any day of the week, y'all. Hope you like it. Roll River, Jordan, roll back to the other side. It won't be long, my soul will be crossing the chilly water deep and wide. Roll back the river, Jordan, roll back to the other side. It won't be long, my soul will be crossing the chilly water deep and wide. I want to tell you a story about how the good Lord set me free. I went to the altar with an humble heart, and there I began to plead. Fell down on my bended knee, Lord, I did pray. I felt Jesus come in my life, and I knew He came in to stay. I'm singing, roll back, Jordan, roll back to the other side. Won't be long, my soul will be crossing in the chilly water deep and wide. Listen, everybody, we need to get down and pray. While there's time to let Him come in our hearts, and peace will stay. We may be King Midas, gold may be our touch, but if on Judgment morning we forget God Almighty, our gold ain't gonna help them much. I'm singing, roll back the chilly Jordan, roll back to the other side. Won't be long, my soul will be crossing the chilly water deep and wide. Roll back, chilly Jordan, roll back to the other side. Won't be long, my soul will be crossing. Won't be long, my soul will be crossing. Won't be long, my soul will be crossing in the chilly water deep and wide. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org.